It's the end of summer, and it's been a really unusual summer with tons of rain. But look at that beautiful gray sky and the green grass and the tips of the leaves just beginning to change in the late afternoon sun. We had a big storm last week that took down some trees and left branches all around and took off the cover of our hoop house. And so now the tomatoes get full sun all day, and our chickens are free to roam in there, and they have so much fun and so much to snack on. And we just harvested some tomatoes today, and still we'll have some more coming, and still lots of peppers to be taken. And the garden is overgrown. It's had it. Here's our little transforming station. And here's our final crop of potatoes, our third crop of potatoes this year. And we have some corn that I'm not sure how it got in there, but okay, we're glad to have it. And we're going to transfer this once the tomatoes are cleared out of the hoop house. We're going to move this kale and lettuce to overwinter in the hoop house. So that'll be a fun experiment. And here are the chickens. They're enjoying their own abundance with so much grass and bugs and being outside from early morning till late at night. They're just really having so much fun. And there's Shorty, keeping an eye on everybody. Here's the tomatoes I harvested today, and I'm going to do a few different things with them. But it really made such a huge difference to have them undercover this year. We have hundreds and hundreds of tomatoes, and it's been great. I've been making them lots of different ways, and I'm going to show you the first way right now. So I put the tomatoes in a food processor and just quickly pulse, get them to a kind of, as you can see, chunky mash, and I add in there some garlic. And I add in there about 2 full teaspoons of sea salt because I'm going to ferment them exactly as they are. Here's the jars waiting for their tomatoes and peppers and basil. Here we are, all packed and ready. These last about 6 weeks in the fridge. They're great on pasta, delicious on a sandwich as a relish. It's the most delicious tomatoes you'll ever taste. Here's some basil getting ready to be cured in olive oil. Another way I make tomatoes is I roast them in the oven with salt and garlic, of course, and olive oil. I coat them in olive oil, add a little salt and plenty of garlic, and put them in the oven for anywhere from half an hour to a little bit longer. And here's how they look before we get started. Really such beautiful tomatoes. So what I do is I keep roasting tomatoes and adding to this kind of garlicky olive oil, salt and pepper, and they cure, and it's really great. And this will stay in the refrigerator for at least 6 months, although it won't last for 6 months. We have an abundance of beautiful green hot peppers this year. We've been growing them in the hoop house, and it's been wonderful having them. And it's so easy to use these in cooking and food. And all I do is give them a really good wash. I remove the stems, and I cut the heads off with the stems. I don't take the seeds out. I don't worry about it. I put them in the food processor I try to keep it like a puree. I don't want them to get too watery, but just chopped really finely with some garlic and some salt. And then when they're done, I put them into a mason jar and cover it, shake it up, cover it, and keep it on the counter for a couple of days. And it is the best. Okay, here's today's stash of, or part of today's stash of fermented goods. There's the hot pepper sauce there. Right before that was our cucumbers, which are so good fermented. I highly recommend making that hot sauce. And it's just enjoy the abundance of your garden by extending the season by fermenting.